All right, there we go. I'm still having a bit of trouble hearing, so let me try to fix everything real quick. Okay. Maybe your mic isn't working. I don't know.
I can hear you well.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Must be your settings. Testing, testing.
Let me exit real quick. All right, it might be working now.
Okay, can you hear me fine?
Like just a little bit. For some reason, it's acting weird.
Oh. Your chat can hear both. Your chat can hear
Yeah,
both.
they can. Let me try to. Hmm.
How's everyone in the chat doing? Hope you're all doing well.
We can hear both. That's good. Let me go on TikTok and maybe let's see if I can turn it up. Mm. Yeah, it's acting really weird right now.
It's all good.
All right, maybe it's working now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit better. Not that much, but I think this is just gonna have to do for now.
Well, if you actually click on my picture, like the settings, you can turn up my mic on your end.
Yeah, I turned it up and it's just a little bit. Let me.
Let me see.
Why does it have to do this?
Let's see. On my end. Hope everyone's doing well today. Sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. I appreciate
There.
you having me on. Oh, we lost him. We lost him.
All right, there we go.
Are you good now?
Yep, it's working.
Okay. All
All
right.
right, there we go.
Let's get the show started.
Yeah, everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Scream Things podcast. And today we will be talking about the brand new Fear Street Prom Queen releasing this Friday. Make sure you guys go check it out. It will be on Netflix. And we are here today with Let's Movies and Pop Culture.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate the invite. So I'm looking forward to discuss Fear Street Prom Queen with you because I was a huge fan of the trilogy 4 years ago.
Yeah,
So,
same.
I was hoping that I knew they were going to do more. It just matters when and what they were going to do. But thanks for having me. I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, of course. Now, just before we start, I'm going to explain just what the new Fear Street is. So, in case any of you guys haven't seen the first three, I won't spoil anything just for your guys' sake, but I will explain Prom Queen. Prom Queen is about a whole bunch of the people that are trying to win Prom Queen. They all randomly go missing on prom night. And this is all connected specifically to the first three trilogy. So it's It's set in 1988, I believe, as well. So yeah, that's just a quick rundown of the plot for the film. And it also has, I believe, the girl from Until Dawn. If you guys have not seen that movie yet as well, she's in this. I'm pretty sure she's one of the candidates for prom queen. But yeah, all right, there we go. Now, what are your personal thoughts on the movie so far from like the trailers and stuff?
I think I'm definitely excited. I think it looks very, very good. I love the premise. I think the cast they chose is very well, and I think they're continuing Fear Street in an awesome way. I love they're also paying homages to the other prom night movies that were in the 80s, like the original Prom Night. There's even a
Yeah,
poster where they're paying a homage to the original Carrie as well, which was in the 70s. But I'm definitely excited for it because I love the story that is going for that. The first trailer was fine, but I think the second trailer was even better. But
oh yeah, definitely.
I recommend anyone who doesn't wants to avoid spoilers don't watch that certain trailer. But I think I think that's the perfect way to continue the Fear Street movies. I just want them to bring more and more because there's so much more they can do with this. So I'm definitely excited for this movie.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure how they're all going to connect it to Sarah Fear because they never actually showcased this killer in
No.
1994's Fear Street, which is kind of odd. So I do get it. It's a standalone story. It's a prequel to the trilogy, but they don't necessarily explain how it's all connected. They just say it is connected to the original series, but I don't know how
So
they're going to showcase it in the movie, but we'll just have to see.
yeah, for me, I hope as long as they do it right, that makes sense and execute it properly, why it's connected, then that would be fine. But if they just give us some stupid reason, then it would just be like, okay. So
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do with like showing how it's connected to the films, considering
right.
in the actual film trilogy they only showed like a certain amount of killers that are a part of the curse of Shadyside. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and they only had the stories connected with each other. That
yeah, they only had like the killers
right.
from 1666 all the way to 94.
Yeah. Which was awesome the way they did it.
Yeah,
So Um, but no, but I think prom night is the one prom queen. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I like the
yeah,
style they're going for. And this is the perfect, like it's the perfect way to continue the Fear Street series in filmmaking.
yeah. And I wonder if they're still gonna like bring it out like after Prom Queen. Maybe they're gonna expand it more, bring some more stuff. I did hear they might be making a new trilogy after this with Prom Queen being a part of it, but I'm not quite sure on that.
Yeah, the only thing I have heard, they just want to make more films in the Fear Street stuff. So they want to do more. So if they're gonna make a trilogy, hopefully they can do it another amazing Fear Street trilogy because the first one's still high with fans. So
Yeah. And it's been 4 years, so it's been a long wait for Prom Queen. And I think we got our first teaser like 10 months ago for it.
for
Yeah, it
sure,
was showcasing like it was going in production and stuff.
yeah. I'm hoping that the same Makes Effects artist gets hired for these movies as well because he did an amazing job for the
Oh
effects and
man.
everything. For
Yeah. Like the bread cutter scene in the first one.
yeah,
That was great.
the meat, how he got meat cuttered there.
Yeah.
um, yeah,
That
and
was ridiculous. So can't believe they even did that for the first film.
yeah, they just went right off the bat, and then they did the summer camp one, which was just my personal favorite out of that trilogy.
Yeah,
But
same.
because I love the style of it, and because I'm a huge fan of Friday the 13th and everything, and that all the
Yeah.
summer
It's
slashers. So
very similar to the second film in a lot of ways, especially with like the killer.
yeah, because the one killer has the bag over his head, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. Oh,
I like it how they went like each film was basically based off of a different horror movie. The first one was entirely based off of Scream specifically. Second one was Friday the 13th. The
yeah,
last one, Mm,
I would say that was more homage to those type of movies set in that era, like those
yeah,
witchy those
like it kind of gives me a little bit of the Conjuring vibes, but not really. Kind
it
of though.
reminded me and a little bit of The Witch, almost a little bit. Just a
Yeah,
style.
but yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with it to connect it at all, but I think what they're doing so far, it's an interesting film. I'm very excited for it. The killer's design, it might be my favorite one out of the killers we've gotten so far. Just the red raincoat, it fits so well with like the premise of the film. And for some
Yeah.
reason, even though it's not really connected to like how the film's aesthetic is, it just fits for some reason.
Yeah, and especially I think the way the killer looks, they put it on the
Yeah.
poster looks amazing. So I think they got the perfect style, and I think they topped the other killer's look, to be honest.
Yeah. I do wish the mask was a little different, but other than that, I think it's still pretty good for what they did for it.
Yeah, for what they did, they tried to pay homage to like the prom night mask mixed with other masks,
Yeah.
but their own style. But they did an amazing job. So
Yeah, it's interesting with what they did for that. And now I'm like, even though 94 was kind of like the end of Fear Street and it was just the beginning as well, I wonder if they're gonna like branch out into maybe like the 2000s for Fear Street, maybe after Prom Queen.
yeah, there's so many stuff they could do with 2000s, especially
Yeah.
that era. And I know that especially that era of horror. They could
Yeah,
Brad,
because that was like the more gruesome style of horror.
yeah,
Like they
and
just kind of upped the notch in the 2000s, and I feel like they might do that again.
I think they can because there's so many stories you can do in the 2000s that could connect to the previous. So
Yeah, there's a lot they can do. I'm not quite sure with how they're gonna pull off this new cast. It's a great cast. I just don't know who's gonna survive. Like so far from all the Fear Street films, really no one survives except for the main cast. So,
yeah.
and the thing is with this cast, none of the characters from this cast are ever mentioned in the Fear Streets from like 4 years ago. None of them.
No, and I think when they made the trilogy, they didn't think about that for the future, how they
Yeah,
can how they can connect these other characters to this. So I think now they're trying to figure out, okay, we should have somehow referenced what we got coming for Prom Queen. But I think at the time they were just only focused on the trilogy. But now since it made money and it's going popular, they want to expand on it now. So
yeah. Maybe have like the officer from the first three make like a cameo or something in '88. Maybe.
yeah. 80s is an interesting decade to tackle Fear Street in. It's gonna be a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
I do think they nailed the aesthetic though.
I agree. Especially, yeah, especially now they try to make the set look like that and
Yeah,
and for 80s and probably the wardrobe, so props to him to nail it.
yeah, they did pretty good with just the aesthetic wise. Like it looks like a prom night like type of movie. Like when I look at that movie now, it's like, oh yeah, that's definitely like a prom night thing from the '80s. And
Definitely.
yeah, it reminds me a lot of prom night, and that makes me happy because I love prom night.
Yeah, it's a really good one, and I think it's one of the like more popular like slash films of the 80s, especially when the 80s were just crazing. So and that's definitely the ones that comes up for sure.
Yeah, and now they're just kind of referencing the '80s all over in this film. Like
Yeah,
even like the town aesthetic, the town itself, like everything about it just like looks like the '80s.
for sure. But like I said, if they can do the 90s and Clown in a Cornfield, they can definitely do the 80s in Fear Street. So yeah.
Yeah. Although I'm kind of curious because in the trailer they do showcase like the Camp Nightwing sign, so maybe they do like some sort of flashback scene or they just pulled it out of one of the films from the first three trilogy, but
Um,
I'm not
I
quite sure
will
about that.
I think they wanna keep that under wraps, but if I'm the guessing, I think they wanted to somehow reference that and bring it to do something amazing with it. Because otherwise, what's the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah, just kind of like show all like the viewers of the trailer like, oh yeah, it is connected to the original trilogy in some sort of way.
Yeah,
And I guess
and
that's one reason why I'm more excited for the film, because even though it's a standalone adventure, I'm glad it's somewhat at least connected to Shady Side as an film.
same here. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely excited for Fear Street Prom Night with the casting, the way it's shot, I think the way it's directed, and like I said, hope they can bring back the the same effects team for this.
Yeah. And I wonder, who do you think the killer is from the trailers so far?
It's hard to tell because some of the characters um were just here and there, so it's hard. I have to look at the trailer again to really determine who the killer is, but it was hard to
Yeah.
tell from that some of that trailer who was. So I'm glad that they're actually keeping the mystery away because I don't really want to be spoiled from who it is. I
Yeah.
want to enjoy watching it, but hopefully they don't actually spoil it in the trailers later on.
Yeah, like if you compare it to like Scream 7, we already have a really good understanding of who the killer is going to be in the film, but in this film, we don't really have an idea on who it is. But I kind of think it's the main girl, like because of one single line, it kind of makes me think she might be the killer. On
Right.
her prom date, she says like, if you mess this up, this will be the end of you. So maybe she's trying to kill off all of the prom candidates so she can become the only prom queen.
That could be a possibility. And it
Yeah.
could also come up with a twist as well. They have as well.
Yeah,
So
there's so much you can do with the new Fear Street, but I wonder how they're going to make a trilogy out of this as well. Like they don't really explain much of that as well.
yeah. Well, if they can figure out like a good storytelling and figure out what they could do with the second movie and the third movie that continue from Prom Queen, I think they'll have something amazing again. So
Yeah, somehow they connect the killer to the original trilogy somehow.
yeah. Maybe someone that was just in the shadows that we never thought of and that could be part of this. Who knows?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting actually. Like maybe the entity or whatever that's like, or Seraphir, maybe she's just like holding on to specific killers from her cases so she can unleash them. And maybe she's hiding some of the killers, like the prom queen killer, she's hiding that one as well.
Yeah, good
Like she's
possibility.
only unleashing a few selective killers.
Yeah, they could there's so many ways they can go with this, and like I said, I can't wait to see who keep the mystery and who done it. That's why I prefer in a slasher like this. So,
Yeah. Like even if when they go into like the underground below her tree, you can even see like there's way more names than the amount of killers there are. So she's definitely hiding some personally. That's what I think.
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
But who knows what they got planned? That's the bit. That's what makes it really interesting because it goes so many ways.
Yeah. It's very mysterious, and that's what's good about this film specifically. It makes you get hyped, makes you want to watch it more than what's already happening.
Yeah, and we don't have to wait for too long because it's coming up soon. So
Yeah. And overall, it's just another Fear Street film. More gore, more slashers, more fun.
yeah, I think if they just keep that momentum and just ante up the pace, they can do amazing with the Sphere Street as a friend,
Yeah.
like as this whole series franchise going on forward.
Yeah. And I love it how they're all like nowadays they're making so many movies based off of the 80s specifically, like Prom Queen, Ready Player One,
Yeah,
Sinners. Kind of like Sinners was dedicated to like very very old days.
yeah, 1930s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like I like
and
how they're making so many movies based off of older
yeah,
eras.
because the opening of the Clown in the Cornfield was the 90s, and then they went to the future. So, but no, a lot of them pay homage to what made horror it is today. So,
Yeah.
and that
Like
those, yeah,
yeah, like even with Terrifier, it takes place in the 2000s, like 2020s, but it's strictly inspired a lot by the 80s, especially with like the movie choices
And
and
the
like
effects.
how
Yeah.
Christmassy it is compared to how Christmas actually is nowadays.
Yeah, I was just paying homage to those old school 80s slasher films that we grew up loving.
Yeah, like Terrifier 2 was mostly based off of Dream Warriors, and then Terrifier 3 was based off of like Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah. With a mix
Yeah.
of whatever else going on there.
Yeah. And like Prom Queen specifically, I'm interested to see what the music choices are because the
Oh,
music is what makes a movie good as well.
because the
Like
group.
for 78 and 94, they had some really good choices for the music.
Yeah, I think they're gonna if since they're set in the 80s and it's prom queen, I think they're gonna pick some really cool 80s music for that type of
Yeah,
movie. So
I have a feeling they're gonna pick Staying Alive or something for maybe like a dance off or whatever in the main hall.
yeah,
Like yeah, for 78 they had like Cherry Bomb, which was great. Fit so well into the theme of it.
yeah. And they can also pick something that just goes with the theme, even if it's not the music we're putting. I think they'll even come with something original as well if they want to. With that the
Yeah,
80s
probably
vibe.
because of how big the original trilogy is, they probably might get someone to make an official song for the movie. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, its own like it's just that references prom queen, its own song.
Yeah, like they have so many movies now that just became randomly popular, and now they have like different music artists making songs for it. Like Terrifier 3 had Ice Nine Kills, Scream 6 had
Yeah.
Demi Lovato. Um Halloween Kills had Ghost as well.
Yep,
Yeah,
definitely did.
yeah. I'm very
Like
interested to see what the music choices are.
yeah, and they'll probably, like, even have some music that pays homage to those 80s slashers, Prom Night, all the type of 80s stuff as well. So there's so many things they could do with that one.
Yeah, maybe they like recreate some certain scenes from Prom Night and Carrie, maybe like the blood scene from Carrie. Maybe in like the finale, maybe they somehow like remake it in their own way.
Yeah,
Like the killer like drops blood on everyone there.
I can see them doing that with Carrie,
Yeah,
and then also the Prom Night Killer could be doing some of the stuff that's from the movie as well, mixed with Carrie, blood splatter, and then it just causes a cool
yeah.
chaos.
Yeah, there's a lot they can do with that specifically. Like they do it a lot now with all these Fear Street films. Like they have some scene that they're recreating from old films, like 1994 was kind of like recreating an opening scene from Screams, like
Yeah,
more like
like
Scream 2 kind of, but like less abandoned, I guess you could say.
right, and what
Or no, more abandoned.
and where 78 was more like Friday the Burning, and even
Yeah,
Sleepaway Camp for that matter.
yeah. Although I like how they went with that. Like it wasn't just some guy dressed up. Like he actually had a backstory. He was like
Yeah,
possessed by Seraphir.
yeah. They at least they paid homage, but they still did their own cool backstory that just wasn't like it wasn't niche or anything. It was, like, very cool how they did it.
Yeah. And it's another thing about like Fear Street is that they have a really good reasoning for why all these killers can die because
Yeah,
Seraphir has a curse on all of them.
yeah, and who knows, there might not be only just Sarah Fear, there could be something else too that they add in, who knows?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure on what they're gonna do with this killer. Like he's definitely gonna die, or she's definitely gonna die, and then maybe come back to life and then kill everyone.
I could
Yeah,
see it, like, with the killer dying, but the killer possesses the person it was after, and she causes who
yeah.
knows?
Like in every Fear Street film, they always had someone find the remains of Seraphir or like find something connected to her. So maybe someone from this film is going to find like the wall of rocks and it has like the people of that are possessed by her.
Yeah, I can see that too. There's so many possibilities they can go with this. That's why it makes it fun discussing this. Because you never know where it could go with, and it could even shock us that we didn't even talk about either. It's like I didn't see that coming. So,
Yeah. Now, now that we talked about like theories and stuff, what are your personal thoughts on how like the film's going to be? Like, what do you think your rating for the film is going to be based off of the trailers?
like for how I feel about it.
Yeah,
For me, I think because because I got that trilogy 78, especially 784 so high. If they can execute this very well, I can give this like an 8 out of 10.
yeah.
Safe bet for me.
I feel like because 1666 they didn't really have like a really good understanding of what the era was like back then. Like it could have been completely different from what the film actually was, but because they have a good understanding of what the 80s are, because probably some people on there did live through the 80s, they probably have like a good explanation for it. And they probably have a very good understanding of how they're going to execute this. I'm giving it maybe an 8 out of 10, considering the first two films they have a really good understanding of it and they executed it very well.
Yeah, if like I said, that's my safe bet 8 out of 10. Might even go higher, might go lower, just depends. But I'm going for a safe bet 8 out of 10 for now.
Yeah, personally, that's what I'm gonna go for too. But now, what do you feel like you need to talk about, like about the film? Like, what do you want to talk about?
I like this. I want to see how this ends and where this is going to lead into.
Yeah, like I get it in 94 and like 78 and 66. They ended it well, but I'm not sure how many prequels or sequels we're going to get based off of Prom Queen. Like
Yeah,
Prom Queen could have been the beginning of like maybe 10 more films because there's so many novels that Stein did for Fear Street.
yeah, and they even want to do even sometimes do even more original stuff too. They wanted to just go past the novels as well, come up with more stories, but still be Fear Street as well. Um, like I know Prom Night Queen could be like a start of the chapter, new trilogy, and then something else could be like a totally different story, but still connected to Prom Queen, like the other two did, and then cap it off with something huge third movie that would just blow people away.
Yeah, like go off the limits, kind of like Terrifier 3 did. But like
Yeah.
not really on the gore side, but more on just
Oh,
like the supernatural side, maybe.
yeah, and more strong storytelling, something that would just shock fans, not from a gore perspective, but something that'll leave them leave Netflix watching that night.
Yeah. Hey, maybe they even have like a ghost like possess someone, like kind of similar to Jason Goes to Hell, but this time he like permanently possesses that person, and then that then gets possessed by Seraphir.
Yeah, that would be a cool concept. So
Yeah,
they can
or
mess with.
maybe have like someone come back from the dead.
Yeah, there could even be a couple like cast members in here that's kept well secret that they're not putting in there. So who knows? They could even have couple of like big people from the 80s to be in there somewhere, shape and
Yeah,
forms. So, but
maybe
there
they
might,
have like some of the actors from like Prom Night and Prom no, Prom Night and Carrie. Maybe they have like some actors and actresses from there make an appearance in this film.
yeah, because I heard
Yeah.
they've been keeping that in really secret set for this movie. So
Yeah, like we don't know much. We just see scenes. That's really it. We don't have much of an explanation for what's happening.
good because I don't want them to spoil it.
Yeah,
That's always
it's kind of like similar to the first teaser for Bloodlines Final Destination. Like it more just showed a kill. It didn't explain anything. Like it
which
has the title Bloodlines. They just we didn't know what it was going to be based off of.
which I really enjoy. Bloodlines. My review is coming soon for that. So look forward to
Yeah,
that.
I might
Um,
watch it after this. I
yeah,
really want to watch it. It looks interesting.
yeah, and then I will say this without spoiling anything. They uh, they give a really good send off to Tony Todd in an amazing emotional way. So,
Yeah,
um,
and it even saves room for like maybe he dies of a heart attack or whatever for Final Destination 7. They
yeah,
go kind of like the Black Panther route for Wakanda Forever.
yeah. I have seen it, so I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But yeah, even the first trailer where I know he did last summer that showed Freddie Prinze and Jennifer, they're still not haven't really get the mystery away what's really going on there. So, which I
Yeah,
love. So,
which looks amazing so far. The cast looks pretty good. I'm glad that Jennifer Love Hewitt is back. It's
yeah.
great. Like, only really a fan of the first film, honestly. Still no, and I'll always know. No, I didn't really like it that much.
I always to me, I don't consider I always canon anyway to those 2 films, so at least now we're getting the proper 3rd film I wanna see. So,
Yeah, like maybe they somehow like connected to the first three, but I'm not sure. Maybe I think it's gonna go like same route as Halloween 2018 and Scream 5, like be strictly based off of the original.
yeah, there's
I feel
ways
like they're doing that a little bit too much now, sadly, which kind of hurts.
TCM 2022 failed that miserably, so
Oh my, absolutely. I still
especially
feel bad for what they did to her, Sally Hardesty. Wow.
well, I'm thanking it was an original actress then, if that's what they're gonna go with,
Yeah,
but I feel sorry
it's
for the
like
actress that did it, but
yeah, it's like Halloween Resurrection all over again with TCM.
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, killing off a beloved character in
In the
such a
stupidest
terrible way.
in the stupidest way possible.
Yeah,
But I, but for Prom Queen, I think there's I think they're keeping the mystery going for it because I think they got something special because they said they wanted to make more, so they gotta be thinking ahead where they wanna go with this. So,
yeah.
um,
It's even stated in the teaser, like a new era of Fear Street, meaning we're probably gonna get more.
yeah, keep it coming as long as you keep making them good, I want to see more, so
Yeah, because like Fear Street, the movies are like some of the best Netflix movies ever, considering Netflix doesn't necessarily make the best movies.
no, and considering Netflix is in quite the implement with how the big budget movies and they had to start canceling good TV shows just for the save the budget. But
Yeah,
Fear Street is one of the better choices that Netflix ever picked up and did, and the people that are involved, I think, are really talented people that to, to bring Fear Street alive to life to people and to just watch it on TV since it's not in movie theater, which I think it should, but that's a totally different story. So, but when I enjoyed watching Fear Street in like on Netflix was a lot of fun. So they're I think they hit gold if they can just keep it going really good. So
yeah. There's a lot they could do more with Fear Street, and I'm glad they did that trilogy. Personally, it might be my favorite horror trilogy yet because of how consistent it was. Yeah. Like if
I
you compare
agree.
it to more trilogies, they're all just kind of like scattered around. Like Scream, there is really only one trilogy. There's the first three, which are great. And then there's like Halloween with 2018 Ends, which was I thought it was good mainly because I have an emotional connection to Ends specifically.
And I thought, well, for those movies, I think what Christopher Nielsen did with the Mask were the three best were amazing.
Oh yeah.
So like the 2018, the kills and the ends, and I don't and with ends, I did like Rowan Campbell as Corey. That I always thought his performance was awesome.
Yeah.
Just
I
so
just like how mysterious he was. Like he started off at like just a normal kid that just goes to school, gets jobs, does whatever, and then over time starts going a little bit more psycho, and then just turns into some random person that no one remembered.
Like they paid homage to Christine, basically. With that one.
Yeah, basically, and I like that.
Yeah, I didn't mind. I didn't mind I enjoyed the trilogy. So I know there's more Halloween content coming, and there is a game coming. So
Yeah. Speaking of the game, I'm pretty sure, according to a new post that was like released online, John Carpenter is quote supposed to have an intimate connection with the making of the game.
yeah, yeah, that post is actually the post that Facebook showed was actually from last year. So
Oh,
yeah, John Carpenter's actually been involved for a while now. Um, and I know Boston Games is one of the people that are working on it. So, but they're making sure it's really, really good because otherwise, how Halloween fans will let you know it's not good. So
yeah. I hope they don't go like the same route as like Friday the 13th or like Texas Chainsaw. Maybe make it kind of like a campaign game, which I think would be cool. Have
I
like a
think,
campaign based off of the different movies.
and I think because they did tease you can do so many moments from the movies as well. And I think if you're gonna have your wide audience, that they're gonna have to have both, not just one. Because it shouldn't just be multiplayer. If that's the route you're gonna go with, it should have single player and a story mode, and that way people can enjoy story. But the ones that do play multiplayer can enjoy it, or who enjoy both, one of the two. But I think if they're gonna do Halloween, they need to give us something special for the fans that we can all
Yeah,
enjoy. So
sadly, there's not a lot you can do. If they wanted to do multiplayer, they really got to play their parts, especially since this happened with TCM. It on launch it was great, but it just died really, really fast, and that's because Leatherface is already in Dead by Daylight. Same with Michael Myers. Friday the
that
13th was special because it was only Jason. He wasn't like licensed at all in any
set
other games.
Except when it comes to DVD, I prefer the Leatherface in the actual game. Thank gosh he didn't make that sound that he does in DVD. No offense to anyone.
Yeah,
As much as I liked playing the Leatherface in DVD, that sound he made when he swings his chainsaw got annoying. So I'm glad that was not in TCM.
yeah.
But
Although TCM was a lot different because it was like multiple killers instead of one.
which made the matches very interesting. And I love the fact it was like 3 versus 4, and yet the victims could still escape, which I was able to escape. So it made it more interesting, and that's why. And then with Friday, unfortunately, Friday, got shut down because of the lawsuit. That's Horring's fault. With TCM, that's the publisher's fault on that one.
Yeah,
But it's
sad
got
that
to be,
they're stopping that.
yeah, because there was more. Me and everybody said there was more potential here. They could have kept going with it. Like it was making money. It wasn't no right issues. It wasn't like financial issues either. And then there was so many stuff they could add to Rush Week. There was other stuff they had planned, other maps. It's just that unfortunately, I don't know. They just need a stronger dev team to help them keep consistent content. So, but it has to be a really good reason why you're stopping TCM.
Yeah,
So that's
like
the only reason. So
yeah, that you can't just say like, oh, it reached its full potential. We're
no,
done
it
with it.
didn't.
No, you can't. There's so much you can do with that. Like make it expand out into like the other TCM films. Like it's strictly based off of the first movie.
Yeah, and you had all the rights to all the Leatherface from all the movies, even in 2022 you did. So I don't know
Yeah,
why you just decided to stop it. The only two reasons I see it, okay, the new game, like a new game coming. Of course, they're making out a new game. There's got to be something really, really good than why they stopped it, or the rumors they were remastering Friday 13th again, which there is a Friday 13th game being made. It's just what it's going to be, what's going to be, but it's just got to be a really good reason. And now you're in it, you put yourself in predicament that
yeah,
the fans, it's just like it's got to be something. Otherwise,
yeah,
what was the point stopping the TCM?
yeah. There's really no point because it was a fun game as well. There's a lot to do in it.
Yeah, because I'm a huge fan of the original Texas Chainsaw, and then of course the remake from 2003 is a lot of fun as well. I
Yeah,
love the fact you can play as Leatherface or Hitch, the cook. They interact with each other, was a lot of fun. Each map, you just felt like you were, watch the movie all over again, but in video game form, and you're
yeah,
controlling it.
it
And
felt real.
and even Rush Week was pretty cool because it was another mode. It was a permanent mode, which you can play that while the main mode with the main mode. There was other stuff they could add to that too, pay homage to like Black Christmas and all those other type of slash films that were coming out at that time. But unfortunately, content got stopped and no more updates. Well, we are supposed to be getting an update. We not even might even make it in May, might be delayed again. And then
Yeah,
eventually this it's going to peer to peer. But we'll see how this goes.
maybe they have a change of mind someday. Like maybe because of all the backlash they're getting, they changed their minds and they're like, oh, maybe we could add some more updates, make the fans happy instead of mad. Considering the
Yeah,
game is still going up for money, it's
it
pretty
is.
expensive as well.
And they had a good relationship with the rights holders because Kim is the writer and the owner of the franchise. So and they had a good relationship. So and it was making them money, and they paid millions, $1 million on mocap and getting all those people in to play those characters and, and movements. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
personally, I
wasn't
think they're
happy
just
with.
getting lazy.
Yeah, they just need to learn because when Friday the game was out, they had better communication and they handled it really really good. Now I don't know what happened
Yeah,
because the passion's there. You can tell how much they care about these IPs, the way it looks and everything. So you just need to handle the community a little bit better and improve on that aspect of everything.
yeah. Maybe they're just scared that their game is going to die, especially since like DVD is going all out this year, like all out. Like we
Uh,
have FNAF.
but even then,
Um,
yeah, if that was the case, even then, I think they still could have stayed in business. To be honest, because
yeah,
a lot of these games that are coming out are nothing like DVD. They don't play like DVD.
they're all unique in their own ways. Like
They're all
Friday
in
the
their ways.
13th, there's so
Yeah,
many ways you can pull it off. Like there's different abilities for Jason Voorhees, there's different
yeah,
survivors, stats for them, and then there's like different ways to escape.
yeah. Every match felt different, and that's why I love the variety. I had variety. You can play DVD. You can play Friday. You can play Killer Clowns, which is having its 1 year anniversary. And it's going all out on its anniversary. So
Yeah,
so there's still more room for this genre. And it hadn't really showed what it really could do yet. So,
yeah, I don't know why they're stopping it, but maybe they were like they wanted to kill their game off instead of having to keep it going.
yeah,
But
either
honestly,
way,
either way, you could still pull it off.
yeah, you can still pull it off. Either
Yeah.
way, it's a silly decision. So, like I said, they are making a new game, so it's got to be something important why they stop making it. If if you're gonna make money, what you're gonna be doing because that game made you money. So
Yeah, because that brought a lot of people in the TCM game.
yeah, it did. It's just like
Yeah.
Friday, it brought in hardcore fans and even newer fans, and people even got married because they played it together and met in real life. So,
Yeah, and it's so different from DVD as well. Like DVD is kind of repetitive. Like they'll bring 2v8 back, but with
yeah,
TCM it's different.
yeah, Two
It
Fairy.
is repetitive, but it's just the ways you can escape, the people you have to fight against.
Oh yeah, in so many ways you can win.
Yeah.
And we're with DVD, yeah, two first aid I think is a fresh aspect on the mode. And it's a lot of fun. I think it's more fun than the regular mode because it does come repetitive and does come a little stale a little bit because you're just doing gens and you escape. Two for eight is a lot of fun though.
Yeah,
And
it's so chaotic.
I think what keeps DVD alive is because not only the content that they get, but it's just how they handle their community and how they add the stuff and to keep adding these licenses, and of course, it's just so many aspects is why it stays alive. But I think for any future people that are making any IPs, maybe start making original content too, besides the main IPs. But because you can keep these IPs alive as much as you care about it, so there was no
Yeah.
need for TSM to stop.
And also maybe they could somehow bring Fear Street into DVD, especially since it is by Netflix and Stranger Things is already in DVD.
And they
Like
could,
maybe,
they could
maybe.
yeah, it's all I think that would be cool. It just depends what licenses they want first, but that would be
Yeah,
cool. So you
I
know
heard they're doing Last of Us this year. I think like September.
oh, that would bring in fans because those are 2 huge games and
Yeah,
huge fan base for those 2 games. So even with the how the TV show right now is hot right now, so
yeah. Even though it is getting a lot of backlash, especially for the actor of Ellie. Ooh,
yeah. Well, I know, I get it, especially with certain lines they got her to say. I'm like, "You got a talented actress here. I know she doesn't look like Allie, but you got a talented actress here. The wife telling her to say those certain lines." But I think she's doing an amazing job otherwise, to be honest. I know she doesn't look like Allie. I wish, Caitlin Deaver that is playing Abby should have been Ellie from the start, but they made their choices. So there's stuff in there I still criticize because the way the games is, but I still enjoy the TV series because it's filmed in Alberta, where I am. So
yeah. And then I'm pretty sure season 2 is filmed over here in Vancouver as well.
yeah, and
Yeah.
DC sides of things.
Yep. And same with Final Destination as well. It was also filmed over here in Vancouver as well.
Yeah,
Pretty sure the fourth one wasn't though. Yeah,
oh
I
no,
know
it
that
wasn't.
one.
Yeah, the more TV look. That's cool. That's a lot of people's not favorites of the franchise. So, but no, I'm not excited for Fear Street Prom Night. So
Yeah. It I wouldn't necessarily say it's my most hype movie of the year,
no,
but
it's not.
considering
But
it's one of based off of one of the best adaptations of novels ever, personally. Like it's just the way they pulled it off. I love it.
same here. I think they really honored Fear Street in an amazing way.
Yeah. And like I might say it's in my top 10 most anticipated, with like FNAF being my number one, maybe, considering I've been a fan of that for around a decade, I'd say. Yeah.
It's definitely part of my list for sure. Now, maybe not as high as others, but it's still a part of my list for sure. I'm definitely excited for.
Yeah.
So
And I like the actresses in there as well. Like they have like obviously the girl from Until Dawn, which
yeah.
wasn't a bad movie. I didn't think it was
No.
that bad compared to what people are saying
Well,
about it.
what I thought about it, it was fun and entertaining. I didn't find it boring at all. There was some pretty cool stuff in
Yeah.
there. I think they handled uh, Dr. Hill's character very well because I thought at first the way the trailer he was just going to be the gas station attendant. Okay, oh fine. But they did something special with him. I thought the combustion scene with the water when they drink it was pretty funny.
Oh, that was
Uh,
great.
and the way it ends, it's almost felt like it was a prequel to the game. So
Yeah, and it is set in the same universe, which is interesting.
yeah,
And now it's like I feel like this new Until Dawn movie that is coming out. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I will say there is going to be a sequel, and I'm pretty sure it's connected to the first game specifically.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
think you'll start seeing
and
more
you can
family
obviously tell from the ending of the film that it's gonna be a prequel.
and more characters that you do know and people that you do know from the movies. So that's what I
Yeah,
heard
maybe they
anyway.
get all the returning cast members from the game to come and reprise the roles for the
Because
film.
originally that was supposed to happen, the original
Yeah,
idea for
that's
this,
what I wanted. That would have been great.
and they changed it up. So they must have decided maybe we'll do like a prequel and then have them come in.
Yeah, just see how people would like the overall concept of Until Dawn being made into a film. And a lot of people aren't that good about it, but the people that actually did enjoy the film and noticed like all the Easter eggs and stuff, they're excited for a sequel or a prequel, which
Yeah,
is me included.
yeah, because Until Dawn's one of my favorite games of the 2010s.
Yeah,
So I went into it and I still enjoyed it. But entertaining. Yes, there was some stuff that could have been better for me, but I still had fun with it. It was entertaining. There's still
yeah, like
aspects in there I did enjoy. So,
Yeah, the first 30 minutes personally were quite boring, very slow paced, but after that, they just went all out on it.
Yeah.
Like it
So
has everything in there. Found footage, paranormal, like kind of Blair Witch style kind of.
slashing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Blair Witch is kind of like in the found footage area of it. Like it's just a couple of people exploring, but
Yeah,
this time they're
and
like trapped there.
they're always gonna pay homage to Blair Witch because it's the reason why we had the found footage genre to begin with. So
Yeah. And that kicked off a lot of stuff like the VHS franchise, which I think it is good. The first like three films were okay, but after Shudder like took over, they went
yeah.
all out on it, especially for Beyond.
Yeah. There's been a couple that's been missed for me, but for most part, the VHS series have been really decent, really good.
Yeah, Beyond was a big surprise for me. They went all out.
Definitely. Even because yeah, you had VHS, Paranormal Activity, you had Wreck, so many, even Cloverfield, many other ones.
Yeah, but overall, I think Until Dawn was a good film. And
Yeah.
now that she's going to be in Prom Queen literally a month later, she's really going all out this year. That girl, who plays Clover. Yeah,
Yeah, I think she has a bright future for herself that she keeps
yeah.
doing what she's doing.
And then also has the mother from The Conjuring, the first one, the one that got possessed. Like she was like on the chair and then she was like floating.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah. I had to think for a second.
and she's like, I'm pretty sure she's the principal from what it looks like.
Which is pretty cool. They really got people in there that we're familiar with. So,
Hmm. I'm very interested to see how she's going to be connected to it at all.
yeah. She might even be involved somehow. So that's an interesting aspect to add in there.
Yeah, she is like running the prom night as well, so maybe she's the killer.
You never
Who
know.
knows?
It could be
Yeah.
anybody at that point. But yeah, the principal could be part of the plot that we really think, or even it could even be the mother of the killer. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's like a whole group this time.
The
Like maybe
whole
they go like Scream on it and they just bring a whole bunch of killers into it.
full on cult type
Yeah.
storyline. What they originally were going to do for Screen 3 originally.
Yeah, originally, and then they had like Stu Macher come back as well. But
Yeah.
then that obviously got cut out.
But now they actually bring them back. So
Yeah. And then they're bringing back Skeet and Roman as well, which is kind of odd.
but I
I
think
still think
Roman's
Roman
more
is going to
flashback.
come back.
Yeah. He got
Yeah,
shot in
as
the
like a
head.
killer.
Yeah, that would be interesting because he got shot in the head, so they really have to explain that.
Yeah, or maybe like Sydney suffers from PTSD in the film.
They could do
I
that
feel
too.
like it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that would be more makes sense than he's really getting to her head and he's right there, but not like alive, but still right there, bugging, getting to her.
Yeah.
And
Like the thing about Prom Queen is that it hides so much, and that's not what I'm excited about for Scream 7. They're spoiling way too much because of the backlash that
yeah,
happened after Scream 6.
well, and two, I think a lot of these, I would have loved a lot of these announcements were supposed to be a surprise, but for some reason it got leaked and they had to announce it because David Arquette was supposed to be a surprise. Stu was supposed to be a surprise. I wish a lot of these were a surprise going in, not knowing, and it'll be like, oh my gosh, that person's here, that person's here, and then they add the cherry on top. It's like, what?
Yeah, like if you compare it to Scream 5, no one knew Skeet was going to be in it. Like when they
No,
watched the film, they were completely surprised. Same with Scream 6. Like we had him come back. I don't remember him being announced to return in the film, but people did just they expected that to happen.
for 6, I expected it since they kept going with that storyline. With 5, I didn't, but a lot of people were spoiled by it because someone leaked it. But I wasn't thinking this, so I didn't
Yeah,
know it
same.
was going to be in it.
I just went into it blindly, not knowing what the whole plot was going to be about.
Yeah, with 7 though, with 7, I want the mystery aspect back, and I won't be shocked by the end of it.
Yeah, but
For
they
5
do
and 6, I
have
really
like,
wasn't. So,
yeah, they do have the most stacked cast of the franchise yet, though.
yeah, it feels
It's
like
crazy.
an end game moment for Scream, their end game moment.
Yeah, like they have the oh man, I forgot what her name was, but she was Phoebe in Ghostbusters. She's in here.
Oh,
That
McKenna Grace, yeah.
yeah, the girl from Young Sheldon as well. The one that was like, I haven't seen it, but I've seen so many clips of it at this point that I know who she is. That the
Yeah.
blonde girl. I'm still mad that Patrick Dempsey isn't returning as Sydney's husband. I think that's like such a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. Now they went with Joel McHale. He was in, It's a Wonderful Knife, I think. That's who the guy
Yeah,
is.
that
So,
one I still need to watch that one, but um, yeah, it looks interesting.
yeah, I'm not spoiling anything. I did enjoy it though. So,
Yeah, I don't even know where to watch it. I'm pretty sure it's on Tubi if I'm correct.
Tubi
Yeah, I'm
or
pretty sure.
Shudder, and it's on physical media as well, DVD and Blu-ray. So,
Yeah, there's still some movies I need to see that I haven't seen lately. Like from 2025, I've only seen Until Dawn, obviously, Hard Eyes, Love Hurts, and the
oh, I really
Minecraft
enjoyed.
movie. Obviously, I think everyone
Yeah,
has.
I really enjoyed Hard Eyes. The
Hard
monkey
Eyes
was
was
well.
great. It was
Yeah,
like the new generation of Scream, but like with a
yeah.
twist.
It was nice to see another new Valentine slasher, but it was mixed with rom-com going in there. That was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it's very similar to Thanksgiving in a lot of ways, and they're both by Sony, so it's not really a surprise there.
And it's even by Spyglass, so it's the
Yeah,
same production.
there's there's so many connections to it, especially with like the amount of gore, the killers, which I'm not gonna spoil.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. Anyone who hasn't seen it. It's really
Yeah,
good.
it's a great movie. I would recommend watching it. It went on physical media not that long ago, or I think it's coming out soon.
For me, it's already on Blu-ray for me over here, so I already
I,
have it.
I haven't seen it at all online at all.
You
Maybe
guys,
in stores like my Walmarts here are not stacked at all. Same with like Sunrise Records, they're not really stacked.
yeah, my Sunrise Records, I had to order it from Amazon for me, so but finally do have it. But yeah, it should be available in Canada, but it's just hard to find it now because the way things are right now with stuff.
Yeah, like it took a whole month for them to come out with the Terrifier 3 Steelbook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and I think
think
there's only like one of them in stock as well.
Thank goodness in January, I at my Walmart had the Blu-ray for Terrifier 3, so I picked it up right away because I know what was gonna happen if I didn't. So,
Yeah, I went there and then I didn't find it, so that was sad. And then my dad got it for me because he saw it there some random time in Walmart.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to me, as you can tell, I'm a physical media fan behind me, so
yeah,
I keep buying it as much as I can, so
yeah. Personally, I feel like they should come out with physical media copies for Fear Street. That
they
that would
should.
actually be really cool. Like
They
some
sh
cool covers based off of Sarah Fear.
Yeah, I know Netflix is strictly just streaming, but I think Netflix would make a lot of money if they put some of their movies in theaters and then have it streaming and then also have it on physical media. Like,
Yeah,
they would make a lot of money doing it.
yeah. I feel like because like for a lot of films, like I know for the Strangers trilogy that was coming out, they were supposed to do chapter 2 and 3 for streaming, but they decided to go for theaters, which is
Yeah,
interesting actually.
for sure.
Yeah.
So,
And in case of any of you guys haven't known, not that long ago they did announce the release date for chapter 2, which is September 26th or 5th.
for strangers,
Yeah.
yeah, I seen the trailer when I was at the movie fair the other day. Um, they showed it on screen, so
Yeah.
hopefully it could be really good because I know it was a
And
mix
keep
with a
in
lot of
mind
people.
that trailer came out like in October.
Yeah, so
Yeah, like there's so much time we have to wait for it, and not a lot of people are fan about this new trilogy.
well, a lot of people didn't even like how the first movie, the newest chapter one didn't go so well with fans
Yeah,
because
I didn't really like it. I gave it like a 5 on Letterboxd, I think.
it did not match the original Strangers film from 2008,
Yeah,
and they tried to
like the
redo a line,
original was strictly just home invasion. It was so creepy for what it was.
and
And then
even
this one they just it's not scary. They just wanted to make it more gore.
and they tried to do a line that just didn't work with the original line
Yeah,
because
like because you were home is such a better line.
it's like no, it's like yeah, the original was so much better line because we don't not knowing what the strangers are and then just knowing their motive just because you were home. It's like what?
Yeah. And now they just say because you're here, like
They could have
I
did
don't know
something.
what that's supposed to mean.
They they could have did something special with it instead of trying to be like the original. Be honestly, but
Yeah. And then after that leak that came out in August, uh yeah, I don't think about it. I'm
yeah,
just gonna
no,
ignore that they leaked that there's supposed to be two more strangers.
yeah. So I'll watch it, but I'm not. I have no high hopes.
Yeah,
So
same. I kind of have high hopes because it's going to be different from chapter
yeah,
one. Instead of it being a full on remake, it actually is going to be maybe a
yeah,
prequel.
yeah. And then they go a route that looks very creepy, and not be like try to be like Strangers Pray at Night, which is a good sequel.
Yeah, I
But
love Prey Night. That was great.
yeah, so we'll see how it goes. It just if they can they need because the first thing they really s- didn't do so well. So hopefully they can get it back up because otherwise this whole trilogy is gonna fail. So
Yeah, and considering chapter one was a big flop as well. I think it only made like 45 at the box office, which was pretty overwhelming.
oh well, that was
Yeah,
not so good.
although it's not surprising.
No, but at the time it had a lot of competition. But even watching the movie, it didn't.
Yeah.
I understand why people didn't want to see it.
Yeah, like they put up a horror movie that's from a franchise that isn't really well known against a child's movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Like,
So
there's no way you can win against that.
and they just did a bad execution with it, and that's why a lot of fans it got out to everybody. And
Yeah, now they're doing it this Friday with Lilo and Stitch and Final Reckoning as well. Like putting the end of a franchise against a remake.
and I think both are going to do well because a lot of people are fans of Mission Impossible, but also
Yeah,
there's a huge fan base for Lilo and Stitch because I grew up on the original, um, and I saw the original when I was a young kid. So and now they're making a live action remake. It's going to do. I
yeah.
think it's going to do well for a lot of people. So
And they're also going up against Bloodlines as well, which already has like 102 million,
and I
which is
think it will
crazy.
climb. So
Yeah,
especially for a franchise for a film series that's been away for 14 years and for it to do well again. So
yeah, like Bloodlines has already made all of its money back on its like first 3 days of launch.
yeah, and this is a director that did Leprechaun Origins, so he got another chance and he did amazing with this movie. So
Yeah, and it looks great. I haven't seen too many spoilers, thankfully, but TikTok always be spoiling something.
yeah, that's why I just stayed away from either like X. so
Yeah,
so
sadly, that did happen with me in Scream 6. Oof.
yeah, a lot
I
of
was
people got
scrolling
spoiled.
around and I saw the killers and I was like, oh come on, they didn't even give a spoiler warning. They
I just
like as soon as I scrolled, it was just there.
oh those people that like the link stuff, I like to just those people that do that are just not true horror fans. So,
Yeah,
even if
like
I saw it in a screen, I would not spoil it for anybody.
personally, you're it's okay to post it as long as you put like a warning or whatever.
Yeah,
Then
at
yeah,
least,
that's completely
but
fine.
but you just but they don't, and that's the problem. They just do it to be not so nice to people and just spoil it for anyone. They don't even care. So
Yeah. Like, I know some people would just post random like scenes from a movie, but they don't really spoil a lot. Like,
no,
I did it once, although it was like just like the title for Terrifier 3, like before it, where he finds the girl. So really nothing special about it. Just Art the Clown
yeah,
opening the door and then he finds the girl. That's really all it was.
that's not really a spoil. But when he spoiled the main plot point for people, and
Yeah.
instead to give spoil no spoiler warning or nothing, then that's
Like so
ridiculous.
many scenes were going around of the shower scene when it came out.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it was flooding YouTube and they all got banned as well.
yeah. I heard that shower scene in Terrifier 3.
I still don't know how they managed to pull that off. That was just great.
Yeah, they went all out with it, and I know David Leone is a practical effects maniac when it comes to that, so
Yeah.
he went
And
all out.
Terrifier 4 is gonna be even worse.
Oh, they're gonna you thought the first 3 was nuts. I think since it was supposed to be an epic fight, they're really gonna go even crazier with it, so
Yeah, like he even said it's supposed to be a satisfying conclusion. Like maybe
yeah.
satisfying gore wise.
Oh, especially with the storyline they're going with, so, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it would be cool if Santa fought Art in hell, maybe, because she's kind of like an angel. She's like the chosen one.
Maybe they might be going that direction, who
Yeah,
knows?
like she goes into hell to save Gabby from the pale girl.
Yeah, and who knows
Yeah,
really what happened to her brother, right? 'Cause that does because that scene doesn't really mean anything. 'Cause
yeah. I
they
still
didn't
don't think he's dead.
that could have
Like I
been
just
her
think it's
just
someone else.
they could have been doing that just to really get on her nerves and do that, right?
Yeah,
So, it's hard because they really confirm it was him dead, so they can still do something.
yeah. And Sienna's so messed up now. Like she lost everything she ever cared about in the end of the movie.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, and it's all because of kind of her brother, not really, because he was just obsessed with the story of Art.
right.
Yeah,
So, who knows what they're gonna go with. I'm excited for Terrifier 4 when it eventually comes out.
yeah. And I think it's gonna come out maybe next year. But they
Yeah.
haven't started production on it yet. I'm pretty sure they're still writing it.
Yeah, we'll take your time with it, make it really, really good because now that you set
Yeah,
the bar high with Terrifier 3, gotta keep that momentum going.
yeah. I hope they maybe go like the route they did for Terrifier 3, spoiler wise. They didn't really do much.
Right.
Like they just showcased a little bit, like for the shower scene. They didn't spoil anything for it. Like they showcased maybe one or two scenes, and then when people actually watched it, it was way gorier than what they were expecting.
Yeah. So there's that rat scene.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what's gonna happen with Prom Queen as well. Like
Yeah.
for the original trilogy, they showcased not a lot, but then at the cutter scene at the finale of the first one, it was just like not what you were expecting.
I think if they do the Prom Queen one, they can go on a full-on massacre with it.
Yeah. In like the ending of the trailer, you see the killer like pull something down. So maybe he's like starting something up or
Yeah.
using like a cut or whatever, and it like falls down and chops the guy's head off.
Oh, there's so many things they could go with that. There's even kills that haven't been done on screen yet, so
Yeah. Like I feel like after Terrifier, there's like not going to be a lot to do, especially since Terrifier is pulling in everything they can
yeah.
kill wise.
So that's why other movies just have to, give us quality stories and really give us
Yeah.
something to look
And
forward to.
like same with like Halloween Kills, there wasn't really much with that. It was just like just stabby, 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 nothing much.
Yeah, it all really was just a ticked off Michael Myers angry
Yeah.
and wanna get
And
his
he's just like
revenge.
pissed off and trying to kill everyone.
Yeah. So,
Although I still thought it was a good movie. It's just there was no storyline with it.
no, it went by its title, Kills for a reason. So,
Yeah. Like it was strictly just supposed to be kills. And I like that. I really do. But I just wish we got some sort of story. And I feel
yeah,
so bad for Jamie Lee Curtis. She got
yeah.
wasted.
Oh, it did, and even a couple of the legacy characters did too. So
Yeah. I think she got even more wasted in this film than she did Resurrection. At least she did something in Resurrection. She didn't
even though
do
I
anything in Kills.
yeah, even though I question some of those things in Resurrection, but yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah,
Yeah.
Kill was mostly in the hospital bed for the most part. So
Yeah, she went out for like one single part. And they even like showcase in the trailer like her walking around the hospital with a knife. She doesn't
yeah,
do that at all in the movie.
no,
Like she doesn't like beat up at all. She looks like she's perfectly fine. But in the
that's
actual movie itself, she's just limping all the time.
that's why in Ends they had to fix that. So
Yeah, and that's why she was a lot more stronger in Ends. Like as much as I think Michael was wasted in Ends, Corey's screen time just kind of like kicked it off for me. Like it was very similar to part five, but if it was done better, like part five of Friday.
for sure,
Yeah. But it was like done way better. Like just like the buildup of Corey. Great.
100%.
Yeah. There's a lot wrong with Ends, but because of the pros of the film, it surprisingly is my favorite sequel. And
Yeah,
that's actually a hot take, but for some reason a lot of people I know really like Ends.
it has grown on me. I actually started to like Ends more and more as I watch it. So
Yeah, like
because you
when I
get
first
more.
watched it, I did not like it, but after
Yeah,
like I met my friends, I was like, "Oh yeah, such a great
yeah,
film now."
yeah. At first, I was like, okay, I need to watch more so I can understand it more. And then yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and the music choices as well were great.
Oh, the whole music, especially when the kid accidentally gets hit with the door and bounces off the floor.
Oh, that
The
was great.
well, yeah, he deserved it really, but
Yeah, he was a jerk to Corey. Corey was just doing his job.
and then the music that kicks in after once the mom's screaming her head off, it kicks into the credits, which was
Yeah,
really good.
and I like what they did for that. Like each Halloween movie in the trilogy was based off of the original trilogy.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Halloween 2018, very similar to the original. Halloween 2, I mean not quite similar, but kind of.
oh, it was yeah, it was it's the more the lighting of the opening credits was more homage to the original Halloween
Yeah, but
2,
then with
the hospital
Ends,
stuff.
yeah. With Ends they just went straight on Halloween 3,
Yeah, with
and
with
I love that.
Christine. Yeah.
I personally think Halloween three's opening, like the credits, personally top 5. I
Yeah.
would actually say that, and that's why Ends is also in my top 5 for credit wise.
Yeah, the opening credits is really good, it's strong.
Yeah. Although nothing beats the original personally.
The original Halloween's always gonna be my number 1 favorite of that series. That's why
Yeah,
we have
same. It's just like when I look back at it, it just brings so much nostalgic to me, even though I wasn't even born in the 70s. I still have a strong connection with the original film.
yeah, and I was born in the '90s, so but I grew up with my parents. Grew up my parents grew grew up on the '70s and '80s, '90s movies, so I was raised on that, so
Yeah, there's so much good about it.
yeah,
But I still think Ends was great. I might say it's my favorite sequel. I think it has been for the past year. But yeah.
yeah. They don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So it's
Yeah.
your choice, it's your taste. So everyone has their own different opinions. So,
Yep. Now I'm pretty sure we talked about as much as we could about Prom Queen.
yeah.
Now, I don't know, I think should we end it off right here?
Yeah, because in a few minutes I do have to go off, but I do appreciate you having me on. And if you ever
Yeah, it
want me
was
back on
great.
if you ever want me back on the feature, let me know and
Oh yeah,
we'll make it go longer next time.
I'll let you know. All right, everyone, thank you for joining us on the first episode. It was great having all of you, and thank you, Plet, for joining us on the first episode.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. If any of your viewers want to check out, like, want to know my
Yeah,
content, I'll be dropping a Final Destination Bloodlines either
yeah, make
tomorrow
sure you
or
guys go check out his
Wednesday.
content. It's getting
I
close to 800.
5 subscribers away.
Yeah,
Last time I
five
checked.
subs. Everyone watching, make sure you go subscribe to him, get him to 800. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
And
And we will all see you later.
have a good night, everybody.
All right. See you all.